The Alberta Trade Definitions is a resource we can use to try to hone in on the scopes and what typically is done by each specific trade and what isn't, so that it'll provide some clarity when they're pricing jobs as to what to include and what to exclude.
This guide should be used by any commercial construction contractor that is tendering in Alberta. It standardizes what each trade will carry in their costs, so that when a general contractor is looking at their bid, all the bids are apples to apples.
The Alberta Trade Definitions was created as a tool for contractors and subcontractors to create a level playing field for the people providing pricing to construction contracts.
The industry has been without trade definitions for a long time, and as a result of that, different trade scopes, different trade companies have either taken it upon themselves to redefine that scope. And so as a general contractor, we find it very difficult to be able to, what we call level bids.
When we're tendering work, we have a set time that we have to have the project, the tender submitted by and closed by. And we don't have a lot of time necessarily to start doing all these reviews and comparisons. It really eats up a lot of time. So if they're bid towards a trade definition that everybody's doing the same thing, it makes that process a lot easier and a lot fairer to the industry.
One of the reasons that we need trade definitions because there's some spaces that aren't clear that both trades might leave undone. And there's this space in here and say, well, who's doing that? I don't know. Well, we know because we check the trade definitions to say who's supposed to do that. And those details are in there. And that is extremely helpful in the sophisticated and complex reality that we call construction today.
As a participant in the industry, as a general contractor that collects subtrade and supplier quotes and gathers them together and submits that price to the owner, the more certainty we have with our different scopes, that the electrical is the electrical package, mechanical, etc., it just makes our job easier.
A lot of the newer contractors don't understand their full scope. A lot of them will leave large not included lists on their tenders that the general contractor at that point has to figure out whether or not the costs are included or whether they have to go find somewhere else to include those costs in their tender.
One of the misconceptions about the guide is that it is entirely going to be similar to the ACTS process that we had years ago, and that is just not true.
The Alberta Trade Definitions is not a tendering system, never intended to be.
Under ACTS, the previous system, the definitions were part of a process. So yeah, the trade definition is a new system, a new process.
I'm really glad the industry has taken steps forward to adopt a new process and moving forward to get buy-in from the industry. I think it's the right process, and I think it's going to save clients and projects time, effort, and money.
The way the trade definitions have been developed is you create a committee of individuals that represent the industry, particularly the different scopes, and you talk about who's best suited to handle this new scope and this new technology.
It's not just the GCs that need to look at us. You need to look at it from the architect's point of view, the owner's point of view, the sub-trade's point of view. We need to make sure we're getting input from all those shared stakeholders.
There's a mechanism for feeding in site experience to clarify intent or clarify the extent of scope. So there's a lot of possibility to actually improve and enhance the trade definitions as we go forward by involving the design professional community.
Contractors and local construction associations are requested to put in the request for changes or additions, and the changes are put into the new document, which is published on March 1st.
Our communal use of trade definitions is one of the things that will help us get rid of all the frustrations and all the pain points, all the things that really drive us crazy in construction.
You bid to the trade definitions, you have it. If it's not part of your scope, you're not supposed to have it. So it creates a lot more certainty and a lot more clarity.
I think it manages the risk cost-wise. Change orders are always expensive and credits are always cheap.
The world's not slowing down, it's speeding up. And the trade definitions help us in handling the speed of change or the speed of bidding, or even in collaboration as well.